Hi everyone, my name is Ronald T. Mtatabikwa. Mr. Lawyer is what you can call me. I'm a spoken word artist and a storyteller based here in Harare. I also have a background in social work and I am a mental health activist. So today we're going to be talking about men's mental health. Why is it important? So to begin with, if we look in our papers in the local press here in Zimbabwe, a lot of cases have been recorded of men who have committed suicide. And these issues are emanating from our socialization. Because if you look at how the boy child is socialized when growing up, they are socialized to be strong. We call them all sort of names. We call them soldiers, we call them warriors, we call them kings, we call them strong men, big men, you know that thing. But this is something that is very critical that we forget. We forget to teach our kids that when they grow up, they need to open up. They usually say a problem shared is half solved. But I think this is a narrative that is not understood, especially in our Zimbabwean context, where there's a lot of stigma around men's mental health. If a man opens up, then they are deemed to be as weak or they are called other names, and no one would want to be labeled as such. So I think there's need for us to strengthen the systems that we already have and create other new systems to make sure that we empower men and we also offer the mental health services. Because if you have noticed, all these men who are committing suicide is because they failed to find someone to talk to. Probably they would have had people around them to talk to, but there's a stigma that is around that. I'll give you an example of Will Smith. When Will Smith opened up on a TV show, he was crying, he was made a meme by everyone, right? So this is the problem that we have, that stigma that is around men opening up. So we really need to get back to the drawing board, see how we can have systems that allow men to open up without being judged. Then I also talk about why this hasn't been discussed in our culture. So culturally, our context was set up in a way that a man was supposed to be very strong. A man was the head of the house. A man was to be the leader. So he wasn't expected to cry. And we have a Shona proverb that says, "Kufa kwemurume kubdaura," which literally means that for a man to die, he really needs to have his intestines out. Yeah, I know that's the translation, but I think and hope that you get what I'm trying to say. That men are people were expected to go through hardships and pain, and they were still expected to remain intact, to remain in place, to stand strong, which I think has changed. In nowadays, men really need to open up. Men really need to find and have spaces where they go talk about their issues or issues that affect them. Because I know we don't normally talk about this, but right now I understand that there are men who are victims of gender-based violence. Those people are broken inside. They need someone to talk to. That's why we need to strengthen the systems that are already there. After having talked about all these things, men are still expected to cope with the situations that they're going through. Some of them are breadwinners, most of them are breadwinners actually, but they're doing this in a country where the economy is not going so well, right? Which means they have a lot to take in and they have a lot to deal with. But because we have limited spaces and we have limited coping mechanisms that are exposed to those men, some of them end up taking their own lives. But to my brothers watching this video, I would want to encourage you. If you're going through something, please find someone to talk to. I know there's a stigma that goes around. I know there's that cloud that covers us from seeking the services, but I would want to encourage you, my brothers, that find someone to talk to. And if they've spoken to you, make sure that you're strong enough to keep that as a secret. Don't post that on social media looking for likes or wanting to be famous, because you're exposing those men to more harm. They're already exposed, but you're exposing them to more harm. Right, talking about toxic masculinity is something that really exists. And it's often associated with aggression, with abuse, with harassment and other bad things. It's something that is bad. Once something is termed as toxic, it means it's no longer good. And I think it mainly affects women because most of them are the victims of gender-based violence, victims of harassment, victims of other bad things. So I would also want to encourage my brothers watching this video that let's do to others as we would want them to do unto us. Let's seek mental health services. Let's find someone to talk to. I know things are tough. I know we are labeled. Once we open up, we're labeled as weak. But my brothers, let's not take our own lives. Let's find someone to talk to. Let's have spaces. Let's create spaces. Let's strengthen the systems that we already have to open up. Churches are also challenging you to have men's fellowship where we talk about these issues. Institutions, this is the challenge to you, that may we also have something where we meet as boys and young men and talk about our issues that really affect us. And I also plead to all women who are going to be watching this video as well, that whenever a man opens up, please, they're not weak, but they're doing it because they have to. They don't have to bottle those emotions. As I've said earlier on, as it is said, that a problem shared is half solved. So let us embrace that. If someone opens up, let's not make them a meme. Let us support them. They really need support. If there's any time that we needed to be together, if there was any time where we needed to each and everyone's back, it is at this moment where we are losing a lot of men, where a lot of men are committing suicide. So there's a video going out to everyone. To my brothers, let's stay strong. We got this. To my sisters, let's embrace that. If a man opens up to you, please don't laugh at him. Let's support them. Let's encourage everyone. Please guard your mental health and be safe. Stay safe. Adios.